Dad, I saw something on the news. Trump posted that if Iran doesn't open the Strait of Hormuz by Tuesday dawn, he's going to bomb their energy infrastructure. Mom said this was the beginning of World War III. And what did you think? That she was right. If someone threatens to bomb you, that's a war. That's what it looks like. But there's something most people don't know that completely changes how you read that news. What Trump is doing has a name. It's called escalation to de-escalate. That sounds like a tongue twister. It does, but the concept is simple. Remember last year you wanted to go to that concert and I said no because it was too late? Yeah, and I ended up going. How did you convince me? I told you I'd ask Grandma to take me, and then you wouldn't know anything about what I was doing. And did you ever actually plan to go with Grandma without telling me? No, it was a bluff. That is escalation to de-escalate. You threatened with something worse than what you want to force the other side to negotiate. You don't want to carry out the threat. The threat is the negotiation. So Trump doesn't actually want to bomb Iran, he just wants them to open the strait. Exactly, and the fastest way to get that isn't to ask nicely. It's to put them in front of an impossible choice. Either you negotiate, or the consequences are devastating. But what if Iran doesn't believe him? That's the real risk. For it to work, the threat has to be credible. Trump has a track record of doing things nobody expected. Iranian negotiators can't afford to assume it's a bluff, because if they're wrong, the consequences are enormous. It's like poker. If you always follow through, nobody knows when you're bluffing. Exactly. In negotiation, being unpredictable is an asset. The more unpredictable you seem, the more seriously people take you. And Trump didn't invent this. During the Cold War, it had a name: brinkmanship. You bring the other side to the edge of the cliff and wait to see who blinks first. What if both of them blink at the same time? Then there's a deal, which is exactly what we want. How do you know this is strategy and not a real threat? You could be wrong. I could be. Nobody has a crystal ball. But there are signals. First, the format. Trump chose a tweet, not a declaration of war. Real wars are not announced on social media. Second, the deadline, before 1:44 in the morning on Tuesday. A long warning is an invitation to talk. If you wanted to bomb someone, you wouldn't warn them days in advance. Third, the markets. Investors around the world, putting real money on the line, are not betting on a long war. And if the markets are wrong? It happens, but there are millions of people making decisions with their own money. When they all agree, it's worth listening. If there's a deal, what happens to prices, to the economy? Think of dominoes, but in reverse. Strait opens, oil goes down, inflation eases, central banks stop tightening, economy breathes. Instead of falling, the pieces stand back up. Exactly. Markets have already priced in the conflict lasting until June 2026. If it ends sooner, stocks rally, because reality is better than what was expected. That's the most important principle in markets. It's not what happens, it's what happens compared to what was already expected. So right now, markets expect the worst, and if something better happens, a rally, a strong one. So when someone threatens with the worst, it doesn't always mean they want the worst. That idea goes far beyond Trump and Iran. It's in salary negotiations, couples arguments, poker games, everywhere. How do you tell when it's real? 3 things. Does the person threatening have something to lose if they follow through? Is there a condition that allows the threat to be avoided? And is the channel informal, a tweet, a leak, not a declaration of war? Real wars are not announced that way. You always have to read between the lines. In geopolitics, economics, and life, almost always, what's said out loud is rarely the most important thing. Hey, Dad, when you told me you'd take my phone away forever if I didn't study harder, was that also escalation to de-escalate? No, that was real. Yeah, I figured.